Hi Flosstube, I'm Bonnie Claire and this is my channel Stitched Lit. And I'm trying this again in a new location. This is only my second time filming in our new home. So we've got a new spot, new light, new hair. We're gonna do a May recap. I don't do this every month, but this year I did go all out in May. Well, it's kind of like a mini WIP parade actually. So basically I started something every day, sometimes more than one thing, but every once in a while I did have a WIP in there, so it wasn't totally new starts. And I did finish some things, so I have finishes to show. This will be a good starter. We'll just call it WIP Parade Part 1, and I don't know when Part 2 is coming. I do have a few little things that I bought since I last filmed. I usually don't show that because so much time passes between videos, but since I'm kind of close to my last filming, I'll show you a few things. So I'm gonna start with a little antique that I found. It's actually still kind of dusty, but I found a sewing box. And in the same room, I found an old tomato pincushion. So I'm keeping that in my box. At the same place, I found this. I thought it was such a pretty box. And what I plan to do, since it's kind of stained on the top, I want to finish one of my stitching pieces and put it on the top. So it'll kind of cover up the stains. And then, I don't know, keep little notions and things in there probably. Maybe my tape measures or something. And then this is from Mary Gary's Sewing Cabin. I forgot to take these out of the plastic, so hopefully it won't glare too bad. This one's called Merry Merry Christmas. I love the examples of small pieces from these samplers. And then these two I just absolutely love. This one is the same Mary Gary's Sewing Cabin. Scatter Seeds of Kindness sampler. And what's this one called? A Fishing Lady. I love the mini lady in the corner fishing. I'm not even a fisher. I just love this sampler though. So those were some. And then this is a kit, and it's Charles Wysocki, and it's yarn. So I actually just want to use the chart and stitch it as a cross stitch. So those were my purchases. And now I'll show you everything I've stitched in May. This was a start and finish in May. This is Samantha Purdy Needlecraft. I just used a scrap piece of linen that I had, and I think it was mostly just the called for DMC. But if not, I usually just find a color that's close that I have. These are great little stash buster patterns. And I do have a stitch along going on this year. The Samantha Purdy Sal is what it's called. And if you just stitch anything Samantha Purdy Needlecraft, tag me. I want to see what you're doing. Okay, and then this I showed last time, but I don't think it was done. I think it was very close to being done, so I finally just finished it. And this is Alicia Paulson. It's called Summer Storm, which summer thunderstorms are my favorite. I did it with my friend Christina, and we did all four together. At least we started all four. She's since finished, and I have one more. I have Autumn. All my siblings are getting handmade gifts for me this year. This is part 1. This sister sadly lost a pet, so I did this for her family, and then I'm doing another small thing for her birthday because I don't want it just to be a sad thing, but I thought this was really sweet. So let me show you the chart. It's called Faithful Friend by Scattered Seed Samplers, and you can see on here there's a lot more grass and a year stitched in the dog, and instead I stitched the name of the dog. And again, I used a scrap piece of fabric that I had for this, and random silk threads that I had. So some were from Almond M&M's and Silks for You, looks like. All right, and then next, did I show these last time, these portfolios? I can't remember if I did. I'll have to put in the name of the store I bought it from. It's a North Carolina shop on Etsy, and it's with, I think this is the French General Sacre Bleu fabric. Isn't that what it's called? Or did I just say something I shouldn't have? Okay, we're just gonna go. I have more than one project stuffed in here. little butterflies from Satsuma Street. There's the body of one and the body and the wings of another. This is another Samantha Purdy needlecraft. This one's called Spring Rain. So a fun thing that I did for May with these whips and things, I had a bag of options. I think I kind of showed you some of those options last time, and I put it in front of my husband and my older sons, and I just said, pick what you want me to stitch from this. And so they helped me kind of line up what would be stitched the next day. And they ended up picking a lot more than 31 days. So I decided to just start them all anyway. So all I did was get the base of the tree. This was when I actually started in the past and restarted. And then the next one is the other gift for my sister that I'm doing. So her birthday's in July. So this is what I'm stitching on. This is probably what I'll actively be stitching until it's done. This is actually technically a blackwork pattern, I think. It is mountains and a little tent, and then there'll be a reflection and sunset. It's pretty. I was stitching it today though, and I was like, oh, it's kind of an evening scene. I should have done it on a dark fabric, but oh well. It looks good on here too. So this was a market release. Mrs. Julia D. Brown's portfolio. My husband picked it for me. I'm pretty sure he picked the birds. So this is the corner of the birds. It's called the Benjamin Franklin Sampler. This is even, yeah, it's forwards. So I'll put in a picture because it's something I'm going to have on my black sampler wall. This is my other portfolios. The one's in a light blue, one's in a dark. I got this. This was one I have loved forever, and so much that I kept on not buying it because I was like, surely I bought that already. And turns out I hadn't. So I finally bought it and I started it. And I'm still waiting to get a couple more colors. I think this fabric's perfect though. I love it. It's so pretty. I know it's extra design, so I can smell it. This is Old Mushroom. I usually don't like heavily modeled fabric, but I just think this will be so pretty for the swan. I call it the swan sampler. It's the Smith sampler. I'm kind of in a big swan thing right now. Not on purpose, but you can't see behind me. I'm right. Ducking's not gonna help. Just from thrifting over the years, I have 3 swan photos. And the first one I ever got was just for the frame. It's a beautiful frame. And then I was looking at it when I was going through my stuff, and I was like, I love that picture. I'm just gonna hang up the picture. And then I've got 2 other swan things, and now I'm stitching a swan. I'll show you in one of my whips. And then I have this swan thing. I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna have a swan wall. So anyway, this was another start. Emmeline Purnell. You know, I have so many Emily friends right now, and I think they all spell them a different way. It's just like, since we moved here, I have met, I think, 4 different Emilys. It's so crazy, but this is Emmeline. And so I got this as a kit from Acorns and Threads. So that's just the ticket linen, and I'm doing it on 56 count. Oh boy, barely started it. But you know, I mean, that's probably a good hour of stitching. So I started a flower. I showed this last time. I worked on it a little more in May. It's called that. And it's by Reflete Swap. And I tend to get fabric pieces that are too big and then cut them down later. And then I'll save the scraps. Is this right? Yeah. And stitch something else on it. So that's my progress. I actually finished a whole page. I think it would look beautiful actually with my swans. This is a very elegant wall behind me, the one that's blank. A little higher up. It's really nice. The next one is a stitch along with my local stitching group, and I'm really hoping. So the last time I saw them all was in May. We had a mini retreat, and they are good at getting together every week. And so I'm hoping in the summer sometime I can join them. So this is for, I actually can't remember which one we decided to do. or the stitch along, because my plan was to start both. So these are the Brenda Gervais Summer Trio. I think we're doing summer. Well, someone comment and let me know. And then spring. I'm pretty sure summer, because spring's almost over. But, you know, I'm starting everything. So this one's from the summer one. One of the summer ones. I'm pretty sure I got this on eBay or somehow secondhand. And so the paper was kind of old, and you could tell. And I didn't want to do a huge project on paper. I don't mind doing the little Satsuma Street ornaments on paper, but this isn't going to be finished as an ornament. So, long story short, I'm doing it on fabric. And it's another scrap piece. So it's probably 46, but maybe 40. But I love it on this dark fabric. Speaking of swans, this one is Swan Tree from Hello from Liz Matthews. I'm not doing it as a tree though. It's just gonna be framed and on my swan wall. I'm not totally set on if I'm gonna have all my swans together, but I might. Probably what I'll go back to next. I don't know. I love it though. So it'll be a rectangle. What I did is in the chart, this bottom part extends out farther for if you create the triangle for the tree, and I thought that would look really weird. So I just lined it right up with where the leaves end, and that's gonna be my new border. And this is on beige gray from XG Designs. Okay. The next one, I don't have the cover photo, but it is Pretty Little London from Satsuma Street. This was a WIP that I picked up. So I like doing these. I started them on the fiddler's cloth, 18 count fiddler's cloth, which is what she called for. And I've decided to just stick with that. So I always go back to Ada for these. And so they're nice and easy and definitely like that stitching happy place for me. An ongoing throughout the year project that I'm doing, which I actually need to catch up on. About every 2 weeks I work on this. So it's a temperature sal. This is Satsuma Street. I'm a super fan, can you tell? It's so funny because my taste is kind of split between pretty vintagey looking, like I love elegant muted colors, and then we get like 70s and bright Satsuma Street. So I don't know, my hand's a little bit eclectic, I'd say, but it's mine and I am fine with it. It makes me happy. I'm pretty sure if we go January, February, March, April, May, so I didn't even finish May yet on here. I was doing pretty good at every 2 weeks, and then things went a little off in May, so I think that's about halfway through May. So I've got a bit to catch up on, but it usually just takes one evening to get all caught up. See all these reds? It's been quite warm, and it's just gonna get worse. I think it's 2 more Satsuma Streets because I'm doing 2 as gifts. I have 2 brothers, and you know, it's a little bit hard to stitch for them. Okay, so one of them's getting Seattle. I mean, and really, this looks like it goes this way. It's not a huge start, but I wanted to get on a start. His birthday's not till September, so I've got time for that one. And then the other one, his birthday's in November, and his is gonna be Pretty Little Amsterdam, and I'm doing it on a bigger fabric, 14 count I think, so it'll be chunky and fun. And I actually have done Amsterdam for myself, and it was one of my favorites, so I was pretty excited to stitch it again. Heart in hand. Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart. Well, this was barely a start. Guess I wasn't really into it that day. Ta-da! It's probably one of those days where I started multiple. It was really cool to see what my husband and sons were drawn to. Like, I loved watching them and be like, oh, that's cool. And so this was one that my husband had looked at and was like, that's kind of cool. And I've loved this for a very long time, since whenever I remember when it came out at Market 2021. So it's Kathy Barrick, a Dutch sampler, and it's backwards. I know I did some on this, so I was starting to outline the bird. in the corner. It really blends in right now. So this bird in the corner is both a finish and a WIP because I'm doing both parts, both projects in here. So this is the project I finished. Did I finish this last time? I don't think so. It's from the Regina Havel sampler. I love these colors. This is what I mean with like the muted elegance. I just love it. So this part's done. So pretty, so pretty. Let's try to fold it down a little smaller. And I put mine and my husband's initials on here because we're those little birds, those little love birds. I started the big sampler, but just a little bit of the border. It's this red border. It looks like that's the fabric it's stitched on, but you actually stitch this part. So that's all I did. Absolutely gorgeous. It's another pretty mottled fabric, which I'm not always drawn to, but for some things it worked so well. So this is Mayflower from Fox and Rabbit, and I'm stitching something from here on it. The Sweet Bird Sings. I'm trying to remember which one I chose. This is what I wanted to do. This thing. So pretty. I've never finished anything fancy like a sewing roll or a needle book or anything besides framing or ornaments. So that's something I would love to do. Some of these starts are really, you know, there we go. Not much, but I think it'll be really pretty on this fabric. This is the Honeybee Biscornu from Teresa Kogut. So this bottom fabric is black. It looks navy blue to me, and I loved it as navy blue, so I went with the navy blue. So I started a little on the navy blue, and I think I started a little on my matching, my top. See what I'm working with? Lots of random things. You know, sometimes I just have to be very loose about it all. And then the top, did I do more on here? I guess we'll see. Oh, the outline of a pretty flower. A little more. We'll just say I spent more time on the top than on the bottom. This is, what was this one? Lovely Dove from Artsy Housewife. And I'm using the Roxy Floss Co. conversion. I'll put in a picture because it's a PDF. This is my start. Maybe it goes another way. I'm pretty sure it goes this way though. Okay, this was, I don't always do this. In fact, this is the first time I've done this. The group, I think it's called Homespun Sampler on Facebook. Is that what it's called? Where they work with shops and designers and try to do an exclusive, and you order it through a specific shop, and it's to kind of help the shops and the designers and everything. This is the first time I actually ordered it because, oh, I love this. Heartstring Samplery. Where, oh, it's called Bloom, but it's the saying where flowers bloom, so does hope. And I'm doing this one, and it comes with the bell pull, and you got both fabrics. They're both Cedar River linen, and then the called for threads, which it looks like mostly is Classic Color Works and Weeks Dye Works. And let's see. Oh, what I didn't. Not too shabby, except for it's gonna go this way. There's my start. Okay, oh, here we go. This is the company, Historical Sampler Company, where I'm stitching a burst sampler for all my kids. So this was a WIP. I don't know if I've told you everything that was a WIP and everything that was a new start, but it's a mix. So this was one I started quite a while ago. And I'm pretty sure this was going to be for my oldest child. I love the suns in the corner for some reason. They're just so cute. They're just really cute. And usually I can do a whole block in a day of stitching. Like even my stitching's usually just in the evening. So except for now in summer I get my hour in the morning at swim, is the Gather Wildflowers from Hands On Design. I don't have all of these, and so which one did I start? I started all three of them on here. This is the house one, this one, and then this one is just part of the leaves. Mostly just to see if I have space. You could get a tape measure and measure it, or you can just start stitching it and eyeball it and think, yeah, I'm good. Okay, this last one, I didn't love the green for the quilt star thing, so I'm changing mine. Mine's gonna be red. That's as much as I got. Okay, this is one I'm doing as a gift for my old neighbors. We had the nicest neighbors, and everyone I've met around here has been nice, but it's not the same. I grew up, my dad was in the Air Force, and this neighbor was a retired Marine. So, and my grandpa was a Marine, lots of military history in my family. So anyway, I'm not doing this bottom part, but I wanted something somewhat patriotic because he really cares about, you know, having his flag out and stuff, and being in the Marines was really important to him. And then his wife is an artist, and she has painted amazing stuff, and so I was like, for the longest time, just intimidated, like, what do I even make an artist? But I thought this was a good combination of being pretty and patriotic, so it would kind of appeal to both of them, I think. Some of her paintings, she has these sort of salt box style houses, so I'm hoping, I think they'll love it. I mean, also the thought, right? So I did the bottom stars and the top of the flag, and loosely my goal was July 4th. I don't know if that's gonna happen now since I didn't really keep up the momentum stitching, but I'll probably set that to the side and remind myself I'd like to do it sooner rather than later. So along that same theme, this I mentioned my dad was in the military. Basically, he's done work with organizations to help places around the world have religious liberty, basic human rights. I thought something that says liberty, freedom, equality, justice for all would be fitting for him. I don't know that I'm quite doing it in the call for colors. I toned it down a little. I mean, there's still gold and blue and red, but not so yellow. And I want to stitch them in a row, just as one thing, because I can't see my dad really caring about little pillows. Like, I think he'd be like, what do you do with these? So if it's something I could just frame, so that's my plan for his birthday. I guess I have plans for my parents' birthdays too, not just siblings. And that was my start. So here's another one. I've never stitched him anything. Once I crocheted him a mini Hamlet, and he's holding a skull. Ow, I just poked myself with the needle. That hurt. I'm sure I still have a needle in here. Okay, well, careful. Okay, this is so crinkly, and I'm very sorry. I might just try to edit this part out because it's going to be loud. I know some people like sounds and ASMR and stuff, but I hate it. I hate it so much. I mean, I don't mind hearing people opening things on their floss tubes and stuff, but when people purposely do the like ASMR tapping, oh, I cannot stand it. So that's just me. So this is another name that's a little tricky. Heloise Cornu, we'll say, 1896 from Reflet des Soies. I'm loving the bright flowers. They're kind of a pinky coral color, and again, I'm noticing, maybe this is the same overall company. I'm a little bit new to the sampler world, but the Soie d'Alger threads are usually what are called for in these patterns. I don't have those, and I don't want to buy new silk when I have some perfectly good silk in my collection. So what I've been doing is just kind of matching the cover again with silk that I already have, which is MPI. I love MPI, and I have plenty of it. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I don't have all the colors, but I have what I needed to get started. It was very important to me to get the flowers right because I want them to be this bright coral color. But all I started was a leaf, actually. There you go. This still smells very fresh XG design, so it must have been in my latest shipment that I got. I love it. Some people, I know the smell maybe is too strong, but I think it's perfect. And the color is light nougat. So I'll just put in a little thing. This is what this is, and I'll put in a picture to show what it's supposed to look like, and QRST. Unless, oh no, it's this. Just kidding. It's this one. See? QRST. It is this one. Hannah Ann Wallace, 1850. By, did you hear my stomach growl? With Thy Needle and Thread. You can see I finally got a ring light. That's why this is possible in the evening. Okay, more Reflete Soie. I mean, I'm in love. I'm loving the florals. I'm loving the muted colors, and have just in this year started 3 Reflete Soie patterns. So I'm a bit of a fan. This one's a little bit harder to see because right now it's just the white part of the flower. It's going to be surrounded by greenery, so it'll show up when it's all done. Oh yeah, that's not the greatest. You can see when it's a yellow center, what's that called? With the white petals, it does look like fried eggs. This time I just pulled DMC. I can't remember if it was the called for it or if I just eyeballed it. But they look good this time, so I'm just using the DMC for it. Okay, this one is Farm Fresh, and I started this one with the ducks. This is my start with the ducks. I won at the local retreat that we had in May, the Sweeter Than Honey Pin Keep, and so it was like a little linen kit, so I started that. And I decided, so on it you see it has ABC. I didn't really want to do ABC, so I have 2 boys that start with J and 2 that start with A. So I thought I'd do a J and an A. And I can't remember if I was going to do B for our last name or my husband's initial E. I'm actually doing this over 1. I'm not a big fan of over 1, but this is a pretty stiff linen, lamb's wool, 32 count. So it's a good one for doing over 1. And it wasn't terrible. I just like stitching with 1 thread. I highly recommend shopping from Bestie Barn Creations on Etsy. She is local to me, so it's great. I can kind of place an order with her and then just meet up. But I have had her shipped to me before, and she wraps everything so beautifully. It really feels like you're having your birthday or Christmas or something when you're opening these gorgeous things to yourself. I told her that. I was like, I just felt so special. So it's this one, A Daily Reminder. And I didn't want to stitch it on green. I was just scared, I guess. But I also had it in my mind as kind of a muddier color. So this color is great. Old Linen. Yeah, pretty sure. Pretty sure it's Old Linen from Extra Designs. Yes. And it's on 40 count. And it is, I guess, if you've started this, you know it's not all cross stitch. In fact, lots of it is not cross stitch. So this is the satin stitch border, and then these are Smyrna crosses, I think, in the alphabet. So it was kind of fun though. Not always, like, if you just want to sit and do your X's, maybe it's not what you'd go to. But it's fun still. And then what I also have in here, but I don't think I started, I think this stocking from Blackbird Designs is going to be perfect on this color. So I'm going to do this one on there. But I don't think I started it. Oh, maybe I did. I did. Want to see it? there. It's part of a sunflower. This is an intimidating project because you have to do your family history and chart out everything. But this is Mother's Tree from Lavender and Lace. And I want it. I want it done. But yes, I was having a hard time getting started. But finally, in May, I did it. I did my history, and then I emailed my mom and I said, can you just double check that I've got this all right? And I had some questions about last names and stuff. And so she helped verify everything for me. And I had started this a long time ago. It was one of those I started on like 28 or 32 count, and it was going to be huge. So this was a restart. I want this all to be in black, and I wanted it to kind of be timeless. And so I went with black, and there's my top of the tree. So this is one I would love to have it done by the end of the year. So it's only going to be this big with everybody charted out on it. And then I have a hank of Silks for You black. So I have more than enough. So then this is another one that I admire forever, and it's intimidating, but I am fully in my sampler time. I am just embracing it. I love it. This is Ann Thomas, Hands Across the Sea. So this is the start. Not huge, but okay, this one is, I got this a long time ago. House Sampler, Cotton Pixels. I think I'm doing the big one, but not with the keys on it. It does come with the key charms. I don't want to do that. I'm kind of thinking, I do like all these little white houses with the black roofs. And 2 houses ago, we lived in a little white kind of farmhouse and with the black roof. But I'm thinking that maybe I'll just make this a very long project and stitch a different color house that matches the different houses we lived in. I guess I started in the middle, so I was writing the words. There is no place like home. This one just says there is place. I really like the border. I think it's kind of fun. This is for my black sampler wall. That crinkly stuff that I hate. This is from the sampler company, Brenda Keys. And it's called Sisters Samplers. I just started that much. Yay. Yeah, that's the corner right there. Okay, this one, I don't know the name of this, but I do know you can go to the website and order their patterns. And for coming from France or somewhere, I remember it came pretty quickly. I was very happy with them. So I thought that was a beautiful seaside scene. And I'm using, again, scrap fabric that I have. So I don't exactly know the name, but I just got the roof and kind of middle started and made sure it fit. This is From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy, Catherine's Little Sampler. Aw, I have a sister named Catherine. I already did her birthday though. We did a little family portrait for them. And I actually kind of got a lot done. Because it's small. It's going to be quick and it's really cute. But I think it always looks better stitched up instead of the picture. And when, as a WIP parade, you get a good taste of what people like. And I feel like if I did a WIP parade just kind of showing you everything I had from the past, it wouldn't really reflect what I like as much as doing it this way does. Just showing you everything I pulled out and make. Because these, for the foreseeable future, are my WIPs anyway. So it's showing you the variety of things I like. This, I think I started last year. So we did a big cross-country trip and sometimes we camped. So I wanted something to remember that by. I'll do something like 2024. I don't know. Luckily we didn't meet any bears. And I've just been kind of working through the frame. But it's a lot of counting and I'm afraid I'm going to count it wrong. So I've got to fill stuff in. I like having landmarks. This is I love this one. Boomerang Stitches. I'm loving what she is doing. This one, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Something about rain. Maybe Rainy Day. I'll put in a picture, but this is my start. But I am loving her patterns. Here is another artsy housewife. This is Mellow Yellow, and I'm doing it with the Roxy Floss colors again. So there's my start. This chair that I'm sitting on, it kind of eats you. It is secondhand and pretty comfortable, but we have had it for many years now, so it's secondhand and older, and so now you really get eaten up by it. And so I have like 3 pillows here to kind of keep me propped forward so I'm not totally falling in to. Okay, this one is French Schoolgirl Sewing Case and Smalls from Needle Made Designs. And what I wanted to do is, it looks like on the chart, I'll just show this little part of it, because it looks like you could kind of stitch that red border part again. But I have this banding that I got at Sassy Jack Stitchery in 2019. So I measured it out. Which one did I decide to start? I think it's the scissors case. So I think I'm doing this one. And when I do it over 1, it fits really well. So this I'm doing over 1, and it'll go just like right up to the edge of the banding. I think it'll look so cool. So it was an experiment more than anything, but I think it'll be good. And the banding is 20, I don't know, actually 28 count, I'm pretty sure. So it's not too hard on the eyes for over 1, but what I'm learning about myself from stitching is that I don't love over 1. It's not something I'm going to make a habit of, and full coverage is not for me. But it's cool seeing what other people are doing and how their picture looks like just random speckles everywhere, and then it comes together and suddenly it's this beautiful piece. This piece I had set aside, but I wasn't sure. It's Hannah Campbell. So this is covered, but it's this one. This is Hello from Liz Matthews. Usually I'm pretty on top of seeing what she's releasing, but I had never seen this before. And then someone was talking about it because it was only $5 on Shakespeare Peddler's site, and they were showing it, and so I got it, and it was still only $5. So for all I know, it still might only be $5, and you should go check it out. I think I started this one, but I love it all so much. I think I started the big one actually, but I want to stitch the small one too. So look at this gigantic piece. There we go, little corner start. I used to start in the middle, and then for these small starts, I wouldn't always know which way was up. So starting in the corner has been a lot easier to find my spot. Okay, this is going to go on my black sampler wall. I thought it was really cool with the butterflies. It is black, what's it called? Black Butterfly Sampler by Shaded Stitchery. And I'm doing it on a dove from X2 Design. Here's my start. I started in the top middle for some reason. But here we go. Is that even the right side? Yeah, just looks so strange to me through the camera. This one I saw Laurel, I Am a Stitch Nerd, stitching this, and it looks so cool. And I had a hard time deciding the fabric I wanted to do, but I think I found a good one. But I'm still kind of doubting myself, even though I started it. So this is on Rusty Golden Brown from X2 Designs. Yeah, obviously I didn't get far because I was probably just playing with colors for so long. Let's see, this will show the color a little better. I didn't want it to be like bright orange or bright yellow, even though I know Laura's doing it on a bright color and it looks really good. So there's my cute little It was just one of those. I started and I was like, nope, I'm not doing this today. Okay, this is a series that, why haven't I finished it? Seriously, I've got pretty much all the months done except for these ones. So, for the longest time, I just couldn't find the chart, so we'll be a little honest about that. But I finally got it and have started. So I started each month because they'll fit on this fabric. That's April, that's probably May, and that's probably June. So not a lot, but a start's a start, and here we go. I've got all the threads gathered up. One of my sons, he loved, because I told him I don't need the exact thread names, but we kind of looked through what I had and did our best to find what was called for. But then I have that DMC color card, and I had him look at it. He loved looking for the DMC number and then finding just through all my different brands of thread and stuff a good one that matches. And so he was just pulling colors for me. And so that whole project is kitted up by him pulling colors where he's just like, this looks like a good one and this one matches well. And so that just makes it extra special to me. I'm also kind of obsessed with GGR right now. Before this year, I only owned 2. And I think I got this one towards the beginning of this year. Or maybe I hadn't started it. Just started it this year. I don't remember. But this one is Inguna Sampler. I always want to say Iguana. Inguna Samplers, Elizabeth Anderson, 1775. I got way farther on it than I thought I did. Look. So pretty. And once upon a time, I started something else on this fabric, and I don't know what, but it's for this project. So, okay, here's another Brenda Keys Sampler Company. This is, remembering it, Scottish House Sampler. So it's like a navy blue, but I want it on my black sampler wall. So I'm doing it in black, again, from the Almond M&M silk. And I've got a decent amount of the, I mean, not compared to the whole thing, but I got a good chunk of the alphabet done. Okay, this one I got as a kit from Evertote and Roxy Floss. This is Modern Folk Embroidery, IAB 1817, the Rosebush Sampler. And again, it's the florals and the muted palette that I am obsessed with right now. And I can't just have one project that looks like that. Ooh, I have to have 3. So, this is my start. So it's using the Roxy Floss colors. I'm trying to hold it this way so I can show you. Got a little bird. Yeah. I think it looks like it's blowing a bubble, like from bubblegum. So, it's kind of funny. Okay. Oh, I just saw, who was it who just stitched this? Oh, I'll have to put in the name. I just saw this on Instagram, and they finished it without doing the words at the bottom, which I think I'm going to do the same thing. This. I started the border. Look, my hoop. I finally got a wool ironing mat. It is such a game changer. It irons so much better with that than with my old ironing board, which that thing needed to be replaced anyway, and so I love the mat. The only thing I iron is my cross stitch anyway. Okay, this is also for my black sampler wall. Whenever I see this, the song Black Velvet gets stuck in my head. I won't sing it for you. This is called Blackwater Blooms. I just think it's a cool black rose. Let's see my start. I'm kind of doing it on this golden fabric. It's R&R 18th Century Brown. So there's my start. This time, sometimes if they don't have a really good corner, then I will go more central. Kind of start there. So that's what is going on. Oh, I love this one. This was a restart. I started this one a long time ago. This is Samantha Purdy, Woman in Bathtubs. It's like a cut through scene of an apartment building, and everyone's taking a bath. I love it so much. They're cute little apartments. And I had started on like a white Ada and decided I want to do it on linen instead in a smaller count. So that's my start of the top of the house. Does this look familiar to anybody? I have no idea what this is. I had started something else and I have no idea. No idea. So if anyone's like, hey, I'm stitching that, that's blah blah blah, tell me please. Okay, this is a cute little kit. I got it not too long ago, so I think I showed it to you last time. American Coast from Chessie and Me. This might be the top, or this might be the top. I don't know yet. But just the border. I think I had to work down and make sure it was going to fit. This is an old WIP. I don't have a cover photo. So here's a picture. And I'm doing it on this pretty banding from Sassy Jacks. So I finished the top one and now I'm on this one. But I had started in the middle because I didn't know how much space to leave because I've never made a bell pull. And so I worked all the way up and now I'm going top down. But it's very folk art, it reminds me of Germany and Bavaria specifically, where I live. I used one of the little flowers from that chart to teach my niece how to stitch, and she has taken off. I don't know how much she's still stitching, but she's made multiple things since I taught her a few years ago and given them as gifts and stuff, so I love it. We're passing it on. So this was another market release. I want to do this. Love it. Absolutely love it. I don't have all the threads and I'm probably going to buy the gold for. This is the only color I had, and I'm pretty sure where I started they mostly needed other colors, so that's why that one didn't get too far. So every once in a while I will get what colors they asked for. That was the most pathetic start of them all. I don't think it's worse than that. This is A Study in Pink from Artsy Housewife. And again, it's a PDF, and again, it's the Roxy Floss conversion. And that's my start. Not bad, not bad. I don't remember which way it goes. It's the butterfly one. Okay, this I totally copied. Is it Jason? I'm blanking. I'll put the name. He's another floss tuber, and I saw this and I just loved it. And so I tracked it down and I got my own copy and I started mine. This was kind of an impulse thing. But I love the vintage Danish stitching from this company, and specifically Gerda Bankston is one of my favorite designers. So when I can find some good stuff from her, I like to do it. Okay, so I started and I'm doing it with flower threads, which is fun. I don't do that very often. Like this. Is the last one, the grand finale. So this is Modern Folk Embroidery. I got this as a kit, I believe, from Evertoe, at least with the threads. I can't remember if the fabric was one I chose. This is Song of the Nightingale. And I love the colors together, the blues and golds. It's just so pretty. And this is my start. I think this was a WIP, so I had already started on this fabric, and I'm kind of like, this is pretty dark. And I think I like it. I think I'm really gonna like it, but it's one of those where I'm like, am I sure? I don't know. So since this was the last one, tell me, do we think this will be cool? Jacob, if you watch this, to approve of my fabric choice, or should I change it? It's not a huge start, so it would be okay. I don't know, but that's it. That's everything. So my plans are, I'm excited about stitching again. Not excited about cleaning up this mess though. So I have that gift to finish, And I have till July to get it done, so if it's totally just not fun, I can switch to something else. But I have the gift, and then I have the gift for my old neighbor that I'd like to get done, and then that swan tree that's not going to be a tree for my swan wall. I'll have to show you it when I have more on it. And then maybe I'll go back to the flowers from Reflet de Soie, or maybe it'll be time for another birthday gift for a sibling. So anyway, that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching. This sure was long, but there you go. WIP Parade Part 1. Maybe part only for a long time. So anyway, I will see you whenever.